Your grandmother's washing machine lasted 25 years on 3 moving parts. Yours was built to die in 5 years. In 1998, a patent was filed that permanently sealed the drum bearing inside the tub, not for performance, but to make a $300 repair cost more than a brand new unit. That was not an accident. It was a confession buried in a corporate filing, and nearly every major manufacturer adopted it. In 1972, a Speed Queen washer rolled off the line with a direct drive system so simple, the entire drivetrain had just 3 moving parts: a motor, a shaft, and an agitator. The service manual from that year reads almost like a dare. Bearings could be swapped in less than an hour, with no special tools, no proprietary gaskets, and no plastic welded traps. The company's own warranty cards promised a 15-year guarantee on the motor, and field logs from commercial laundries routinely clocked these units at 20,000 cycles before a major repair. Porcelain-coated steel drums resisted rust for decades. The average American household expected 15 to 25 years of reliable service from a washer built in this era, and the repair shop down the street kept every part in stock. Fast forward to the present. Consumer Reports, in its 2023 reliability survey, puts the median lifespan of a new washer at just 5 to 7 years. The same report traces a sharp spike in first major failures, mainly bearing seizures and electronic board faults, beginning around the 4th year. Warranty coverage has collapsed to 1 or 2 years, with a handful of brands offering a paid extension barely covering the failure window. The difference is not subtle. It is a cliff. Field technicians, the last honest witnesses in this system, are blunt. One says that calls have doubled since 2015. But I can't fix half of what I see. The parts are gone, or the repair costs more than the machine's worth. Another, with 30 years in the trade, puts it this way: they designed these things to be thrown away. You can't even get to the bearing without splitting a welded plastic tub. The numbers back them up. In 2010, United States appliance repair shops logged 1.2 million service calls for washers, with nearly 80% resulting in a completed repair. By 2023, calls had jumped to 2.3 million, but the repair completion rate had dropped below 60%. That is a 40% collapse in viable repairs, even as the machines themselves fail sooner and more often. The economics are brutal. A bearing that once cost $18 to replace now requires a tub assembly costing $400 to $900, making repair irrational for most households. One brand, Speed Queen, remains the outlier. Their current models still use a split drum and direct drive design, and their warranty is 7 years, more than double the industry norm. But these machines are nearly invisible in big box stores, sold instead through specialty dealers. For everyone else, the story is the same. A product that was once built to last a generation is now engineered to die before the decade is out. The question is not whether something changed. The question is why, and who made the call. A washer built in 1972 could be stripped down with a socket wrench and a block of wood. Bearings were cheap, accessible, and listed in every parts catalog. But in 1998, Whirlpool filed a patent that changed everything. The document, buried in the USPTO archives under real frame 278730902, described a sealed bearing housing with no access panel, no split drum, and no way in. The claim reads, a hermetically closed bearing assembly permanently affixed to the outer tub, not intended for field replacement. This was no accident of progress. The sealed bearing design welded the bearing into the plastic tub itself. When the bearing failed and Whirlpool's own service data put the window at 4 to 7 years, the entire outer tub had to be replaced. The part alone ran $300 to $500. Add labor, and the bill hit $600 or more. At that point, the repair cost matched the price of a new entry-level machine. The old $18 bearing swap was gone, replaced by a $500 plastic coffin. Parts catalogs from the early 2000s tell the story in black and white. The bearing line item disappears. Instead, the diagram shows a single sealed tub assembly. No breakdown, no subcomponents, just one part number. The service manual's troubleshooting section is blunt. It says, "Replace tub assembly if bearing noise is detected." This design did not emerge from a blank slate. The patent's justification page reads like corporate doublespeak, with claims of reduced contamination, simplified assembly, and greater reliability. But the economic logic is plain. A repair that once kept a machine alive for another decade now pushes the owner straight to the sales floor. The numbers are brutal. $300 to $500 for a tub, $600 for a new washer. The only rational choice is to replace. Whirlpool's sealed drum architecture was not a technical dead end. By the early 2000s, Samsung and LG introduced nearly identical sealed bearing tubs. Their service diagrams, filed in court exhibits and teardown videos, matched the Whirlpool patent line for line. The industry had found its lever. The sealed drum was no longer a rumor. It was a documented, engineered trap. And the repairman's verdict is always the same. He says, "You can't fix what you can't open." By 2005, the sealed drum blueprint was not just a Whirlpool experiment, it had become the industry's new gospel. Internal adoption charts from Samsung and LG show a near total conversion to sealed bearing tubs across their front load and high-efficiency top load lines. The numbers are cold and precise. LG's own engineering memo, buried in a 2019 class action docket, pegs the 5-year bearing failure rate at 34% for the WD T1000 series. The language is not cautious. Field validation confirms projected failure rate. Recommend full tub assembly replacement protocol. That is not a warning, it is a policy. Lawsuit dockets tell the rest. In re Samsung Electronics, Case 2:16 CV 09876, plaintiffs submitted service manuals and teardown photos showing the WA45 and WA48 families using a welded plastic tub with a factory pressed bearing. When the bearing fails, the official repair path is to swap the entire tub at a parts cost of $400 or more. In the same case, expert testimony cites a 28% failure rate within 4 years, right in line with the LG memo, right in line with the engineering. The Cabrio series, a Whirlpool flagship from 2010 to 2019, generated over 12,000 consumer complaints with the FTC, most naming bearing seizures and lid lock failures. Class actions pile up, Samsung for spider arm fractures, LG for transmission failures, all tied to the same sealed non-serviceable bearing hub. The evidence is cumulative. By 2005, the sealed drum had become the industry's default, even as internal documents and legal filings acknowledged the design's catastrophic repair economics. Every major manufacturer, Whirlpool, Samsung, LG, Maytag, signed off knowing the numbers. Only one brand refused to join the parade. The profit calculus behind modern washers is not buried in the fine print. It is stamped on every invoice, every warranty slip, every parts catalog that quietly vanishes 7 years after a model hits the floor. According to the Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers, Machines made after 2010 lose official parts support after just 7 years. That is not an accident. It is a shelf life engineered to run out just after the warranty ends. Extended warranties, sold at an 18 to 23% gross margin according to SEC filings, bring in more cash than they ever pay out. The numbers do not lie. In 2024, replacement unit revenue for Whirlpool, Samsung, LG, and GE topped $4.2 billion, up 31% from 5 years earlier. Profits. Repair shops, once the backbone of appliance longevity, are vanishing. The National Association of Appliance Service Professionals reports a 58% decline in independent shops since 2010. Technicians call it a death spiral. Parts are discontinued. Repair costs soar, and the only rational move is to scrap and replace. The association's statistics back it up. Service calls have doubled, but the odds of a successful repair have collapsed. And yet, there is a name that keeps surfacing in technician surveys, a brand nearly erased from big box showrooms, but whispered about in back rooms and repair forums. Machines that run 18 years longer than the competition. Serviceable split drums. Bearings you can still buy. The industry calls it an outlier. The repairmen call it the last honest washer. But in a business built on replacement, that kind of durability is seen as a threat, not a virtue. Today, Whirlpool's sealed drum patent US 60451 remains industry standard, with parts discontinued years before failure rates peak. Meanwhile, Speed Queen's mechanical top loaders still ship with 15-year warranties. The market rewards disposability, not durability. Until that changes, obsolescence is not an accident, it is the business model. Drop your experience in the comments below.